When you are ready, let me know. Not worried.
Okay, we are live.
Okay. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري ويشرك في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum. Once again, we have been studying chapter Qadr, Laylatul Qadr, as it is well known. And we studied the verse 1 and 2, and we said that وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ, verse 2, what will explain to you what that night of power is. Those people who somehow who are familiar with this expression, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. For example, another example, الْقَارِعَةُ مَا الْقَارِعَةُ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْقَارِعَةُ, etc. On many occasions, it is repeated, this expression, what will explain to you what that night of power is. In a general information, this phrase is understood by many scholars in different ways, but what I like, and I picked up from among them, was as if drawing the attention, do you know what it is really? I can explain it to you. Now, because these concepts are all the concepts that Quran introduces to the audience, which does not occur or does not they are not in use, so the audience are not familiar with it. What the Quran does, even the word is used in Arabic, present-day Arabic, but Quran uses this specific word for a specific meaning within its own context. So he wants to draw the attention, saying that, look, don't take this. For example, the word Laylatul Qadr. So Layla is very frequently used in Arabic language. Maybe everyday people use it. Al-Qadr also used in many different forms. The word Qadara is very frequently used again in daily Arabic language. That time, now, everywhere, all Arabic speaking people, maybe all times. So they are familiar with this word or phrase, Laylatul Qadr, but Quran says, no, 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 no. It is not the Laylatul Qadr you speak in your language and you know, no, no, it is something else. That means what will explain to you what that night of power is, means that is not what you know about this word. I'm going to introduce a new concept to you. So Laylatul Qadr will gain a new meaning in the language of the Quran, therefore in the language of the Arabic language. So still it is in use, people use it, but understanding of the night of power differs, of course. It is for some people one particular night. We discussed this, how possible it is that Allah doesn't let us know, the Prophet doesn't say us, so we have to search for it. We have to search for it when there is no explanation in the Quran, and only the hadith narrations, the sayings of the Prophet, gives some sort of information, again, vague information, not precise information. That is a specific night. But we understand that everybody must have a specific night which fulfills the meaning of what the what the Quran wants to teach us, Laylatul Qadr, the night of power. So, night of power is explained in the verse 3 by God himself, what he means by this expression, the night of power, which says this night of power is better than 1,000 months. Or Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alfi shahr. Of course, we know that when the Quran uses any number, age of Noah, layers of earth, layers of the heavens, skies, degrees in the number of the angels who carried the throne of God, number of the angels who guard the hell, etc. There are, and also number of some animals mentioned in the Quran. There are many numbers mentioned in the Quran. All scholars, including the Prophet's teaching, have consensus that these numbers are not exactly what they say, that 7 is 7, 6 is 6, 1,000 is 1,000. No, it is just giving a hint there. Maybe sometimes it gives the layers of the sky and earth, sometimes gives an approximate age of a person here, and sometimes gives different kinds of animals, what he doesn't matter, 3, 4, 5, and number of the angels carrying the throne, number of the angels guarding the hell. It means from many, many, many aspects, you can see the throne of God in front of you. Sometimes the angels who represent justice, sometimes angels who represent, who carry the command of God about mercy, sometimes, of course, command of God which says those people who deserve not what God's favor is, they will be deprived of the favor. So for many aspects, because we have to understand that angel doesn't mean something like a human being waiting in front of God saying that, yes, sir, please order whatever you want, I'm going to do it. This is just an imagination. It cannot happen like this, because this kind of things before God, the absolute being, cannot be imagined. So they must represent something, and they do represent a lot of things. So what I understand is the general information I am sharing with you. When you read the Quran, it always people always get puzzled. Why 7 heavens? There are billions of galaxies. What do you mean? But it means several, a lot, not only one. not only one that you see, no, more than this. This kind of information we get from these numbers. So angels, for example, if I say to you, for example, nowadays it is impossible anyway, so I see no harm in giving this example. You invited me and I came. I found generosity, I found compassion, I found really nourishing food and friendly atmosphere, loving relationship, and keeping your promise, treating me in a just way, etc. I say, our meeting were carried by, as far as I can guess, 10 angels. It means representation of these qualities, in my understanding, by the angels, I present it to you saying that one of the angels represented mercy, the other angel represented nice relationship, friendly relationship, loving relationship, etc. So nourishment represented, from my perspective, for example, nourishing, providing angel. That is, I would represent it with angel. Because why angel? Because angel means directly receiving God's command, God's will, and presenting it in my life. Angel means. So when God says 70,000 angels carry God's throne, you can understand that God's manifestation of God's qualities, names, human beings can comprehend it from 70,000 perspectives, each of them represented by angel, because this is the angelic side of the creation in the universe, that we call it angel, glorifies the angelic side of the universe and declares that this is nothing but the act of God, the creator God. I think this kind of understanding of angels really excite me, because when I see that the universe, everything, all the meaning I get, different perspectives, what a beautiful order, what a beautiful design, what a beautiful illustration, what a beautiful form, what a delicate mercy. All refer to the qualities of the Creator from my perspective. When God speaks to me, He speaks to me to help me to develop, to institute, to construct my perspective, not His perspective. His perspective is absolute. Speaking to me, showing to me how should I construct my perspective when I am interacting with the world, with the universe. So he is inviting me, saying that, look, when you look at the universe, don't look at the atoms. Look at what the atoms are writing for you. Read the meaning, and out of this meaning you will see endless perspectives, all referring to me. You cannot refer it to anything else other than the creator, absolute infinite creator of the world. That is how we should read the Quran. We shouldn't get lost in the number one. Why 1,000 months in a life of a human being, lifespan of a human being? Some people die before living in this world. No, it is just pointless. It is just pointless. It means 1,000 months of your endeavor to get closer to your creator is worth one night of power. Night of power means the pinnacle, the utmost degree you reach in realizing the manifestations of the qualities of your creator. So all your feelings, all my feelings, all your feelings, start realizing that each of them refers to one aspect of the qualities of the creator, and that aspect of the qualities of the creator becomes familiar to me. I say, yes, my creator is really gentle one, delicate one, merciful one. If I am nasty, just one. He treats me with justice, but I should never, ever forget. Although you might have heard God's wrath or something like this, I didn't use it. Yes, la'na means really cursing in Arabic, and it is used in the Quran. But at the same time, there are other verses in the Quran which says, my mercy encompasses everything, including my curse, including my wrath. Okay, it is a wrath for you, but that's what you need to realize what your reality is in this world. So I am treating you in order to draw you back to the right path so that you will have a right relationship with me. You shouldn't go astray. You shouldn't deviate in your life from the true right path. So that is mercifully angry, if you like a mother gets angry with the baby. Oh, you are always making noise, etc. The baby is at the age of 2 and 3. They start speaking and you cannot stop them speaking. And the mother was expecting when the baby is going to talk, when the baby is going to talk. She was excited when the baby starts saying some words at the age of 1 or 2 or in between. And then, oh, he started speaking. She's excited. When the baby reaches at the age of 3, you cannot stop him or her. And then mother's like, come on, for God's sake, can you please stop? So, and makes her, said, I'm not going to listen to you. That's enough. Today you spoke a lot. So she may prevent her from speaking. She may prevent her from doing something else. But these are all coming out of the compassion of the mother. Yes, she is sometimes making some prohibitions, maybe sometimes getting somehow angry with her and eyebrows are getting sweet, severe look. Well, okay, the child gets disappointed. Of course, it is her right, his right to get disappointed, but mother meant definitely something good for the baby, for the child. What we understand from here, we have to understand that, well, serious scholars, of course, not ordinary ones, or serious ones, and I respect them all. Even the ordinary ones, they try their best to help us get closer to the meaning of the Quran. Of course, everybody can do it like we are doing it. No one is better than the others for their own sake, but we can choose. There are various opinions. Or the scholars I respect personally, that what I respect, you may respect somebody else, we are most welcome, who said even the hell is the manifestation of mercy of God. Yeah, like cleaning your dirty clothes or rust metal needs to be burned. The rust needs to be burned, not the metal. You know, you cannot burn metal. You don't burn metal, you burn the rust. So if my metal of my spirit gets rusty, this rust needs to be burned, cleaned. That is the allegory or metaphor to understand the word fire describing hell in the next creation. But we understand fire, but is it really the fire that we see here that will happen in the hereafter? Oh, no one knows the hereafter. That God is telling me to my feelings that I experience here, the severe punishment comes from the fire. So I say, fire? Oh, I don't want it. That is what the Quran means. That is, you really are scared of. Well, yes, I am scared of fire, definitely. And no one likes it. And when you burn, you can imagine what happens, so painful, etc. So that is something that you never, ever can stand. But if you don't want, don't get rusty. So in order to prevent us from getting rusty, God reminds us in a severe language, says, look, I don't want to put you in hell so that your rust will be burnt. But I'm warning you from now on, don't do that. And I have given you the senses also within your own feelings, within your own spirit, which lets you know, informs you when you deviate, when you go astray. So both of them, universe is obeying the order of the will of God. Human spirit obeys the order of the will of God. Spirit is from God. We will talk about it a lot because the verse will come about the spirit. Now, human spirit also tells me, the human spirit tells me that you are doing something wrong, but I may choose to shut it up. That is my option. You have the telephone, for example. When it rings, you may answer, you may reject. But what is worse? What is the worst one? you may block it. Wow. It means even they send, you will never ever get this reminder anymore. That is the symbolic teaching of the Quran, which means the stamp is put on the heart of those people. It means they block it. Blocked. It is the most horrible thing. You never hear any ringing at all. At least if you are open, if I am open, I can hear the call, but I may not answer. That is worse. It is really bad, but even worse if I block it. Oh God, may God protect us from this. So it comes from our consciousness, news comes, from universe, news comes, reminder comes, from the speech of the creator, if someone is really fortunate enough to be aware of the speech of the creator. Not that I'm a Muslim, I know the Quran. No, no. Are you aware what the teaching of the Quran is for you? Have you studied it? If you don't study it, how can you be aware of it? So what I meant, if you are aware of the speech of the creator, it means you get to know as much as possible. And also prophetic tradition, again, if you are fortunate enough to hear some narrations from the prophet, I understand that you can receive the reminder from his sayings, actions, etc., narrations from him. Anyway, these are the means that we receive in order to understand whether what we are doing is right or wrong. So continuously from 4 different channels, we receive the same message, repeating. It means that hammering on it, that we are doing something right, we are doing something wrong. So if we take notice of it, we are good. If we don't, then we develop rust, and rust needs to be cleaned. And that is mercy. That is what I would like to share with you. God's wrath, God's cursing, God's hell is nothing but mercy. Difficult to digest it because we don't like it, but that is the reality. We must accept. I must say, why always God mostly mentions about the hell? He doesn't want you to go there. He continuously reminds you that it is horrible. Don't choose this way. Don't choose. As if it is God is begging us not to go astray. Yeah. One of our friends says, you mean the God's hell is mercy? Yeah, mercy, but mercy depends on my condition, how I behave, so that my Rabb, my sustainer, my maintainer of my life and my existence, protector, whatever you call it, my educator. The Rabb has all these meanings, variety of meanings it has. So treats me according to what I need. According to what I need, not what I wish as a result of careless thought, rather than developing my spirit. Okay, let's come to the night of power is better than 1,000 months. It means I am copy pasting from the Quran. So the best action, best realization, best cognizance that we have. Yeah, I understood now. This is your night of power. Why? This night, you reach the pinnacle of your consciousness of God, awareness of God. Now, at that level, this is your pinnacle. You felt closest in your life to God. Then you feel that as much as your how do you say, your pinnacle is high, or how do you say, elevated, enlightened, that much your life becomes meaningful. Your feelings are relaxed. Your worries disappeared. Your hope is really alive, and you are jubilous, happy, excited about the future, and when I am going to be in the presence of my God, who is this and this. This realization goes on until we start forgetting, neglecting, and going back. So the life is full of ups and downs. Don't worry. It is normal. It is human beings. So God knows which kind of creatures we are. He created us. So okay, there's something here. Yasmin. Okay, thank you. Yasmin said something. Not, uh, okay, the night of power is better than 1,000 months. Some 1,000 months represents how many years? Somewhere around 80 something. It means at the most your life. At the most your life. Uh, it means your life, whole life. What do you think? For example, when you realize something, for example, a scientist works, yeah. And at the end, he became a Nobel laureate, whatever you call it. I don't know whether the pronunciation is right. A Nobel Prize winner. And he said, that is what I wanted. That is my peak. That is my ultimate target. And I hit it. All right. Laylatul Qadr is a believer's Nobel Prize, if you like. A believer reached at his ultimate level. That's it. There's no further degree for him. In reality, there are. But as far as my endeavor, my capacity, that is what I am. So that is for my Laylatul Qadr. In that Laylatul Qadr, what happens? The following slide, please. Okay. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. من كل أمر. It is beautiful. So the angels and the spirit come down in it. فيها, in that Laylatul Qadr, in the night of power, by their Lord's leave. It means God's permission. بإذنه. They cannot come like this because God employed them. Come on, go now. Min kulli amr, that is beautiful. Everything is beautiful in this verse, but this one, to carry out every matter. It means every matter will be enlightened, will become meaningful, and the angels will carry that moment from, as we discussed in the earlier part of today's discussion. Every angel represents one beautiful perspective of the realization. From another aspect, one beautiful perspective of my feeling is attached, connected to my creator. Of course, some people can have a connection with their creator with a strong rope. Some people like me can have maybe, hopefully, have a string relationship, but doesn't matter. In electricity, just it's an analogy. If the energy power is so powerful, so the electrical wire is thick and good material and solid, really powerful. But if I am going to use, for example, this a very low lamp, the the wire is so thin. Now, as far as I am concerned, I don't know what you want, but at least I wish, I hope I have any kind of connection with the power station. Weak or strong. Of course, I prefer to have a strong and energy line, but at least I am saying, at least I am connected to it. But if I am connected to it, when I start getting the pleasure of being in touch with my creator, being in the presence of my creator, then I will start to get more and more energy, if you like. So my wire connection, of course, this is completely allegorical speech, nothing to do with reality, just a metaphor. So my wire will become thicker and thicker because in order to carry more energy, God created thicker line. But in any case, how can I know that this is the power of night for me? Okay, have you received the news, good news from angels? How about the spirit which brings you the message from your creator? Are you able to communicate with God, have a conversation with God? Can you really relate yourself to the presence of God? That much you have the connection with your creator in your realization. Now, I was going to, and one of my friends asked, what is the spirit? Why not only malaika, angels? Now, we can discuss these verses as well. If we have time, we may discuss today. There are other cases in the Quran, mostly combines these words, angels and the spirit, angels and the spirit. Now, it is translated usually, the spirit is translated usually as Gabriel. Now, why is it so? It is a traditional, very conventional way of understanding a ruh, the spirit, it's very common among the scholars as the, of course, Gabriel. I wouldn't say no. Why? Because it is true, correct. But what needs to be explained? What do you mean by Gabriel? Jabrail. What do you mean by Gabriel? That question bothered me for a long time, actually. But I found a very easy way of understanding it and make it practical for myself, how it works, how it worked in my life and still working. I may change it tomorrow, but for the moment, it is working. What the angel Gabriel is represented in the Quran and in the prophetic sayings, especially, the Gabriel brought the message from God to me. It means, of course, to be conveyed to other people. That is the prophetic mission. But I'm not a prophet, definitely not. If my connection breaks because of the weak Wi-Fi connection, please let me know. I can hear you, but you may not hear me. There is a sign on my screen now saying that it is unstable. Internet connection is unstable. Okay. Gabriel brings the message to the prophet. What is the message? Now, Quran mixes the word message, meaning the sentences of the Quran, which are called verses of the Quran, sometimes meaning, and sometimes both, but sometimes specifically the examples of the creation, the mountains or birds and I don't know, trees and stars and everything, even a bug is a message from the Creator who created it in order to teach us something that we can get closer to God, to get to know Him. Everything is for this purpose, created for this purpose, but while we are living in this world, we may benefit it for our bodily needs as well. Why not? But this is not the ultimate aim for human beings who have spirit. Again, so we will come to this circle now. Spirit from Allah, God, spirit who carries the message to the prophet Gabriel, spirit, my spirit, which is breathed in me from God's spirit. Oh, the same word, ruh. All the same word. It is so interesting. It means now the message in the Quran, this word ayah is used, ayah, the sign or the message is used first, the verses of the Quran, the second, the creatures of the universe, and third, the miraculous demonstrations at the hands of the prophets created by God. It means announcing that this person is employed by me by a physical creation. That is called miracles. All right? What does it mean then? Now, angels are everything created in this world, representing the meaning. But the spirit is the meaning. The meaning, what God sends to me, reveals to me in verbal explanation, verbal speech, conversation. So my feelings is the verbal speech of my creator in this created world. Now, the revelation the prophets receive, again, verbal explanation of the universe's message to me in a verbal form. They are the same, from the same source. They bring the same message. One of them is action-wise. The other one is speech, verbal explanation. And the third one is the human spirit, which is only tasted, practiced, experienced by myself. They are the same thing. They are the same message. This specific personal means of communication between me and my creator is represented in the Quran, the spirit. You can call it Gabriel, I don't mind. But Gabriel becomes one of the angels in the tradition. That is why I hesitated to reduce to Gabriel. Gabriel is the interpretation of the scholars and the practical language of the prophet. In fact, the ruh. For example, if you come, I don't know, I don't want to blame people, but if you go to a place, let's not name it, and nasty, heavy, nasty smell, and people speak all garbage, and no one listens to each other, just keep speaking, and huge noise there. Someone may guess what I am describing, but I don't want to name. You never know what the people are doing. We don't know. So, and you go there, you feel smell-wise disgusting, human behaviors meaningless. No one is respecting to each other, just really passing time. They call it killing time because they cannot be, no, Jabin, don't name it. I'm particularly not naming it because it may be a reason for us to develop everybody who goes there are evil people. No, we don't know. So that's what I'm avoiding, naming this kind of place. A place like this, you say, oh, there is no spirit here. Everything is meaningless. So you understand that angels is the, if you like, a generic word. It means the meaning of everything. But it is great, of course it is great. It is important to understand angels, but especially the meaning which is directed to you corresponds your feelings and can be represented in your language. That is the spirit. If I could present it to you, but I have a great feeling about it, but I'm always not able to express myself as I would like to. My language is extremely limited. I speak just broken English. You know that, So I'm thankful that you are here bearing with my language. So I'm very grateful, really. You don't leave it. This man doesn't know how to speak English and he tries to say something in English. Go and learn the language first. But after this age, you cannot really improve my language. Anyway, I'm very uh, appreciative of your bearing with my language. That's what, but I think you can get the gist of it. Or, by the way, I should let you know in this case, my language is complicated, difficult to understand, difficult to follow. Anyways, but there is no need to say astaghfirullah. No, 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 no. Forget about all this kind of things. So it is not, there is no time for it. So one of our sisters here, Feriha, Feriha listens to it again, maybe again and again. I don't know how she does, but she summarizes them and uh, and beautifully presents it. And of course, we share, we communicate with a few number of people. And then when we come to the conclusion and agreement on the text, she puts it, Islam from Within, under this video recordings. So if you don't understand something, then Feriha is used to maybe listens over and over again. So to make sure that what I meant, and if I made the mistake or something, she corrects it, and we communicate. Of course, at the end, when we come to the agreement, she publishes it. No, so that is a good opportunity for you. Maybe if you cannot listen hour and a half video, you can go and read the summary of it. You can get the gist of the talk or discussion we are having here. That is, and by the way, not. So I'm very, very, very appreciative and thankful to Sister Feria to do that. And she does it, and painstakingly. She has been doing it for years, mashallah. And what I notice, as she takes the notes, she grasps the message better than I do, because she scrutinized the meaning and sequences of the reasoning there. No, it is good for her, but also we have to thankful that she spares her time. But I think it takes a long time for her to do that. It is not easy job at all. But we have to thank her and also pray to Allah for her, inshallah. This is on YouTube. Yes, on the YouTube, go and find the this recordings, video recordings, and there under the video recordings, you will see the notes. One of our friends asked, and one of our friends said, I take everything that we explain, every Muhammad and single and message of God, including our blessings, feelings, epiphanies. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Yasmin. All right, I close this one and concentrate, come back to the very exciting word, spirit. If you like, so they will come there. Of course, they don't come because by definition, angels, even the spirit, can not do anything, cannot do anything but by the will of the Creator, by the leave of the Creator. It means they receive only the command or the God's choice, God's will, and accomplish it, execute it. That's it. That's why they have no other option like human beings, that they have free will. I'm going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. There is no option. Only do it. That is the angelic side of the creation and every kind of God's action. Something like this. And the beautiful, simple example is you are reading a book. The simple example, or listening to a speech, doesn't matter, but book is even simple. when you want to convey the meaning, what you do, you write in the book. You are the author. Now, when you write, the writing on the page is like an angel. Why? It cannot change what you did, what you loaded, what meaning you loaded in it. But the reader may get it, may not get it. That's up to reader. The relationship between the author, the writer, and the written form is like the relationship between God and the message. And the universe is a book. They cannot betray the message of the Creator. Do you see? Is there anything which is free not to obey the order? Show me one thing which is acting on its own will, not obeying the order of the Creator. Okay. Now that is angel. That is the spirit. That is why whatever we hear from the universe, from our feelings, from the message, from the teachings of the prophet, all realized with the leave, with the permission of God, according to the will of God. We cannot disobey. My spirit cannot disobey God. That's why my spirit never, ever misleads me. The teachings of the Quran, the speech of God, never, ever misleads human beings. Never. The prophet never presents something bad for human beings. These are by definition. And the universe is the same. Angels execute the will of God is the same. They cannot mislead something or do some mischief there, so change the meaning. No. These are, you may hear that some people's claim the prophet received something and the goats ate it, or this kind of stories are just trash. I just throw them away for me. I don't really care because the universe is in front of me and my spirit is there and the Quran is there. And I see the consistency in the Quran. All my life, I'm studying the Quran and trying to see anything really contradicting my feelings. But interpretations, of course, we are free to interpret in this way or another way, but we have to know that we will be responsible for our free interpretations. It means with no justification. Of course, if someone has a bad intention, they can deviate the meaning. Of course, everybody is free, but that is not our business. We have to take care of ourselves. So we will study this, the spirit and angel combination. There is a question. Let me read the question. Are we to understand that the experience of the human spirit is also a message? Human spirit, yes. But doesn't mean that I'm going to reject my idea or give an exception. No, human spirit is absolutely conveys, human spirit absolutely conveys the message as it is from God. But we have free will. We discussed a while ago, today, we have free will. What we can do, the telephone rings, I may not answer. Do you remember the example? Even I can block the message and I don't hear any ringing. It means I don't hear anything from myself. That is, some scholars described it, rotten seed cannot grow into a tree. Rotten, blocked. All its qualities are destroyed, corrupted by my free will. It is there, but I can corrupt it. Yep. For example, book is there. One option, I can open and read, try to understand. The worst side of the option, I can never open it and read it. But the book is and the meaning in it there. And the worst, not the bad, the worst side of it, I can burn the book, throw book away. Yeah. And maybe without opening it, I may just destroy the book. So there are options. What the Spirit says is really what God wants me to know. Okay. But I may distract the message, misinterpret the message. That's why I have to be careful. That is, we call it in our discussions, consistency. To be consistent within your own message in yourself, from your spirit. To be consistent within yourself. Sometimes we say, in a very simple language in our discussions, say, belief in God is nothing but being consistent, not contradicting your own spirit. That is why we have to watch out whether am I listening to my spirit, what my spirit tells me, or am I just really distorting it? Be careful. When you realize, but if you don't ask yourself, condition yourself, especially with this excuse, of course, nowadays, in this day and age, you cannot understand this verse in this way. No, you what did you do? You blocked yourself to the message. Excuse me? Are you taking the criterion for you, the society out there, or your spirit? Come on, be honest. But human beings are free. We have to watch out for ourselves. Yes, our spirit. Now, not our egoistic attitudes, caprices, not our biases that we develop, but if you question it, we will realize it, because the message is in us. And as long as we live in this body, you know that we have 3 layers of existence in every individual: body, life, spirit. So when the body and life is together functioning, spirit dwells in it. When the body leaves the when life, oh, I'm confusing. When life leaves body without life cannot function. So spirit says, I cannot do anything here. Bye-bye. That is death. Okay. That is death. That is called death. Death means body and without life is not a proper place, dwelling place for spirit to be. So God says, okay, I gave death to the body, so come with me now. They got together. When I die, my spirit leaves me. Do you understand this? So, uh, as long as body and life uh, uh, coexist together, then spirit is there, but we have to understand that we have an option, which is it's an option. It is very difficult. Free will. Uh, we may follow the message from the spirit. We may not. If we deviate by conditioning ourselves, then we don't listen to the spirit anymore, or we distort the message from the from our spirit. So even if you go and quote the Quranic word, etc., with a distorted approach, you and I, let me speak on my behalf, I start distorting the meaning of the verse of the Quran as well at the same time, according to my attitude in my relationship. That's why my relationship between my free will and my spirit comes first. And then if I have a right, not distorted, without any bias, uh, have a criterion within myself. When I read the Quran, I will see the correspondence. They are confirming each other. When I look at the universe, I will see it. For example, when I look at the universe, sometimes tornadoes happens, etc. Sometimes wild animals, carnivorous, whatever they call them, animals eat, uh, uh, meat-eating animals, kill the innocent other animals, and they feed on them. This kind of things. I say, oh, why not? Oh, what are you doing? You are taking the oxygen of the air and uh, breathing out, how do they say it? Inhale and exhale. I think exhaling carbon, carbon dioxide. But I cannot help it. Yeah, the lion also cannot help but get its prey. So that is how it is created. Why? We say these are wild animals. No, 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 no. Excuse me. No, they are not wild animals. They are just created in this way. They are as innocent as you are when you breathe in the oxygen or air, when you eat your breakfast or dinner. Innocent. They are innocent. You are innocent. Are you a murderer when you pick up a fruit from the tree and bite it, chew it, and swallow it in your stomach? Do you feel guilty? Or do you say, that is how I am created? Everything is helping each other, mutual aid, mutual support, connecting with each other in this way. So the fruit is created for me, some animals are created for me to eat. Plants, vegetables, all the greeneries, all of them are created for animals to eat. Oh, earth is created for the plants. Water is created for plants, animals. They are the way that we communicate with each other. We taste it. We understand each other. So when you water the plant, or let's say you have a garden orchard and you are watering the plants, do you see that the plants are feeding on innocent water? Huh? And they are feeding the minerals of the earth, stealing it, killing them. Excuse me, the life starts from earth, becomes vegetable, then animals, and human beings. That is improvement. Do you say that the baby who is taken out of the mother's womb is a murder? Because we are the doctors. There's doctors who take care of the birth. They are murderers. They cut this. I know. Remember this word. Baby's connection between mother and mother's womb and baby's novel.
Umbilical cord, the umbilical cord.
Oh, umbilical cord, yes. When they cut the umbilical cord, the doctors, do you think they are murderers? What are you talking about? They are life-giving, well, not the creator, but for the life of the baby, they are cutting the relationship between the mother and the baby. So mother is happy. She gave birth to a baby. Baby is happy. She started a new life. So water, soil is consumed by plants, and water is happy. Soil is happy that they sacrifice something from them, and plant is happy. It grows into a life. So when the grass is eating, or the plant is eaten by animals, plants are happy. The animals are eaten by other animals, those animals created to feed on the other animals. Uh, for example, the whales are created to feed on the small fish. It doesn't mean that whale is a wild animal, the others are innocent. No, 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 no. That is the order of the universe. That is how the life develops from one stage to a higher stage to another higher, even higher stage. So we have to understand this kind of relationship between them. Oh, why did we jump to this point? So we can, let's come back, we can deviate the message of our spirit by choosing in a in by choosing a direction which contradicts my real nature and conditioning myself that this is what the truth is. Even if I with this attitude, even if I go to the Quran, read the Quran, definitely I will understand the Quran according to my prejudice, which is developed earlier on. These are interesting points. No, it doesn't mean that everybody understands the Quran differently, means that they are deviating. No, 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 no. Going against the general teachings of the Quran, contradicting it according to the requirements of this age, requirements of this civilization, the requirements of this life conditions around me. What shall I do? It is the reality for me now. I cannot really apply this verse of the Quran anymore, etc., etc. These are all the results of our own, if you like, breaking the covenant with our Creator, which is represented in our being as my spirit. Now, that is the covenant. If you like, the Constitution, the constitutional act, treaty between me and my Creator is my spirit, which is dictated by my Creator. Again, because the spirit of human beings is breathed into human beings, but from God's spirit. It means God has written this constitution and put it in the pocket of my heart, if you like, symbolically speaking, heart. So I have to be loyal to this covenant, this constitution. So this is the, if you like, a treaty between me and my creator. That's how I acknowledge my creator, through this treaty. So I have to try my best not to distort it, not to contradict it. Even if, for example, we have free will, we may choose the wrong way, which is called egoistic interpretation, egotistic attitudes. We may have it. Okay, I do have. And I say, oh, I shouldn't have done this one, but I did it, or I shouldn't do this, but I'm still doing it. But okay, we are weak. We may not be strong enough at certain moments. It is acceptable, it's understandable, it is the way to ask for forgiveness. Don't worry about it. But never try to justify your weak points. That is extremely important. Never try to justify, even if, oh, you are in a situation you don't want to uh, believe your friendship with the people around you. It is time for prayer. And one time you are having a little party with your close friends, maybe family members. The family members are not praying. Oh, that's possible. Why not? That's, everything is explained in the Quran. These things are normal. In the Quran says it can be this way, it can be this way. So maybe your family is right and you are wrong. Maybe you are right and your family is wrong. It's part of it. Even between father and or the mother and the children, these are diverse creation. Don't worry about it. So you are having a party with a small party with your friends. It is Maghrib time. Just dinner is served. You cannot go, oh, what shall I do now? Okay, okay, the time passes. Maybe shall I go? Shall I? No, no, it is now not a convenient time now to leave the meeting with my friends. The time passes. Okay. Don't say, of course, I don't have to pray in this condition. No, I couldn't resist my own personal interpretation. My God said, pray within this period of time. If you miss it, come back to me. I understand. Ask for forgiveness. It means repent. When you repent, you are fine. But if you don't repent because of the pride, of course, in this condition, it will be hurting. My friends' feeling will be hurt if I leave them at the very, very sweet part of our party. So, of course, in these conditions, one may not pray. No, that is contradiction. That is conditioning yourself. Okay, we are going everywhere today. So the spirit comes down with the angels. Somebody asks interesting question, Taya. Thank you, Taya. Very, and also you have written umbilical cord to help my language. Thank you very much. How do you differentiate between guilt and the spirit? Interesting. Not only guilt and the spirit, even sinning. How do we differentiate it? Now, if you like, leave alone the sinning. Now, guilt is another aspect of the spirit. Again, within the spirit, the sense of guilty is given to us, but not to suffer from it. Oh, not to suffer from it. For example, I may do something, I might have done something long ago, very horrible thing that I should have never, ever done it. which I did in my practical life, many of them. I cannot count it. So I did a lot of silly mistakes. Okay, I did it. What should I do? Should I keep carrying the sense of guilt and blaming myself forever? Quran says no. Blaming nefs is not the good one. Satisfied nefs is the best one. So that is the teachings of the Quran, from the teachings of the Quran. Blaming nefs should realize that, there is a contradiction between what my spirit inspires and what I did, what I have chosen to do against the inspirations of my spirit. Okay, ask for forgiveness. I love the verses which encourage people, come, turn to God, repent. It means really the literal meaning of the word in Arabic means turning back to God. When you deviate from the right path and come back again, even thousands of come back again. There is no number there. It's so that if we are under the pressure of the sense of guilt, in the course of time, we start breaking away from God, saying that I have no faith to turn to God anymore. What does it mean? You cut off your relationship with your Creator. When I do something wrong, at least if I accept that I did something wrong, it means I am still in contact with my Creator. Beautiful. Oh, Creator, I did something wrong. I acknowledge it. What a friendly, what a loving relationship. God say, yes, you did. I know. But don't worry. Repent it. Get out of this sense of guilt. So I think, to me, I am going to speak now in an exaggerated language. Carrying the sense of guilt is equal to cutting off your relationship with your Creator, because it leads to that end. That is the path of, with the language of the Quran, Satan. It means the wrong way. That is the really wrong way. So repent, ask Allah's forgiveness, and whenever it comes to your mind, ask Allah's forgiveness, get rid of the sense of guilt. It doesn't mean that I should forget about it and do it again. No, when you ask for forgiveness, when you turn back to God again, you wouldn't do it again. Even you do it, turn back again. Even you do it, turn back again. All right. I think we understood that. And the last verse, peace it is until rising of the dawn. Salamun hiya hatta matla'i al-fajr. It means the night disappeared and the dawn is in the horizon, and everything, your life changed. Your understanding of creation changed. Your hopes, you gain your hopes. Yeah, my Creator can fulfill it. I cannot fulfill my hopes. For example, it's a very famous among the people, American people, to say that, oh, American dream. Yeah, Laylatul Qadr realizes the dream. The night of power is the way to realize the dream, but you cannot realize it. Only the angels and spirit comes to you by the leave of the Creator, by the permission of the Creator. Then you are in peace. is all your feelings, as much as you realize. Or let's go to our example of rope or string, the connection wire. How thick it is, it's okay. Whatever it is, as long as the wire is connected in both sides, God and your spirit. It is the point. Afterwards, it's better to develop it. It's better to improve it, make it stronger, which is called having a stronger and stronger belief in God. It needs exercise, intention, and deliberate action, putting it into action, praying for it verbally and action wise as well. Whatever it needs to be done, you have to do it. For example, study the Quran more and listen to the or the read to the commentaries on the Quran, and listen to the commentators, serious ones, of course, not like me, in fact, but I don't know. But there are serious ones available. That is up to the people. I cannot give a name, impossible at all, and I cannot really refer to any videos or any book. This is my principle. I don't mention names. So, okay. All right. Ashnur wrote something. Let me read this one before the time is up. I have the same question as Afshan. The verse seems to connote the meaning that the peace is only during the night, whereas I would associate the dawn with peace. Now, depends on. I would say it is since it is called the Laylatul Qadr, it means the night of power. Somebody did I? Okay. The night of power. Night of power means, I understand in this way. Night of power means in a special case for you and me, that we cannot solve, we are not happy, we don't feel the spirit is coming to me, speaking to me, bringing me the good news, etc. Glad tidings, they say, whatever it means. So bringing the glad tidings, that means also Injil. By the way, the Bible original name is glad tidings, Injil, the good news. So this comes to you at that. So you enlighten yourself. And then this period is the process of enlightenment, your improvement, your development. But when the dawn comes, the dawn appears in the sky, it means now your life is enlightened. You are going to live with this enlightenment in the rest of your life, your day. So the process, for example, you study, learn, and then you go into life and practice it. Now, it means the learning process. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it again. No, that's why we don't really mention a specific night. That is the night of power. We made a specific moment for the people, every individual. That is the special night for them, the night of power. If they really learn something, for example, you are studying a handbook of a machine, for example. You studied it carefully, learned how to use the machine, and the dawn comes, you reach the pinnacle of your understanding, and you are with the machine and applying it. That is your day now. Practical life starts with it. That's how I understand it. So definitely the dawn means your enlightenment, and as soon as you reach your enlightenment, peace is gone. No, 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 no. It doesn't mean from the context of this teaching. No, it doesn't fit the context. That we have to understand it in a way that you know that it is the principle of understanding the Quran. You definitely you are aware of it, that any piece of the Quran, any verse, any word of the Quran cannot be understood, interpreted, contradicting the general teaching of the whole body of the Quran. So when the day comes, peace disappears. No, it is in the everywhere in the language of the Quran. The daylight means enlightenment. Daylight means the receiving the revelation and becoming aware of the content of the revelation. Your day starts. I understand the night when you have a problem, when you want to develop, make an improvement. Excuse me. There. I'll open the door soon. Just I am in the house. Okay. Hello? Yeah. Excuse me, I was expecting somebody. Now, that is it. Inshallah, we can start another following subject. Okay. Sorry, I promised somebody that I have to answer. So we have to understand that Salamun hiya hatta madla'il fajr means you reached, and then when you say, that is my level now, then on this level, you carry on your life. But of course, what is important now? Making improvement in your realization, making stronger your connection with your creator, realization of your real being. So God, spirit, and God's speech, all the Gabriel, the spirit, comes with the angels. We said angels are the different aspects of the realization of God's qualities. So the spirit is just bringing it to you, to your personal being. So, and then you start your living at that level. In another day, you may have another Laylatul Qadr. It means, oh, but I have a problem now. It doesn't mean that belief cannot happen only once. Belief is not static. So like learning process. So for example, you take a course and then go to the lab. When you listen to the professor who teaches you a new subject, you don't know that one. You are in a night. Now you learn. When you learn it, you are enlightened now about the subject. Now class is over. It means the dawn is there, finished. Go back to the lab, practice it at that level. That's what I understood here. Of course, I appreciate your question. Excuse me, I appreciate the question anyway. There is an okay. I didn't understand Farah 7 not out. I don't understand this language. Can you explain it to me so that I'll come to your question? Excuse
I
me.
just meant the word hatta. Hatta, you can translate it as even after or even though. It doesn't necessarily mean until in the way that maybe some.
No, no, no. Hatta, I mean, are you speaking from, I don't know, you are Farah? I thought the Farah from Jordan.
I'm Farah from Jordan. Maybe there's other Farah.
Another Farah. Okay. Okay. Hatta, there's a grammatic rule. When it follows by a verb, it may mean what you said. What you said, although yes, correct. So, but this is not followed by a verb said hatta madla'il fajr. Yeah, so really, I would prefer to translate it and understand it, and most of the majority of the scholars understand in this way until rising of the dawn. But we have to understand what the dawn is. What was the example? So I attended the class and then learned that was my night. I didn't know something. Professor taught me. I realized. I learned, and then the class ended. That is my night of power. And then I gained something. And then I learned something. And then I go to the lab and practice it there. But next week, I go to the class again and learn another subject. And that is why night of power should be understood at a personal level, personal matter, rather than external night out there. But at the beginning of this chapter, as we were studying, we talked that people accepted one night as the night of power and celebrating it, welcoming the revelation of the Quran. Fine, let them do. You do as well. That is an occasion to remember the message of God. Why not? But real practical side of it must be within yourself. There are other verses. Can you please go to the next slide? Yeah. In this verse, تنزل الملائكة والروح. No. Don't you have another slide after this slide? Yeah. ينزل الملائكة بالروح من أمره على من يشاء من عباده أن أنذروا أنه لا إله إلا أنا فاتقون. Just I will read. It is late. I know the time is already up. He sends down angels with the spirit at his will. You see the same notion as we studied, to whichever of his servants he chooses. Again, I have to be ready. I have to be ready to receive it. Your whichever of it, but his servants, he chooses. Quran says God chooses. It means you have to be a candidate for it. That's how the Quran should be read. God chooses, none of my business. If it is nothing to do with me, why do you think God is telling me this? I'm going to do this. Why do you tell me this? It must be something to do with me. That's why we have to understand, if God chooses, it means God doesn't choose without any reason, with no wisdom, no justice. So I don't deserve it, but he chose me. Come on. God is just. God is really treating everybody equally. So to give his warning, this is the warning. Look, what the main message is. There is no deity but me, so be conscious of me. So the following one, please. Conscious of it means realize that La ilaha illa ana fattaqun. Be conscious of God. That is the context where the angels coming with spirit. La ilaha. It means angels brings the meaning, but spirit brings La ilaha illa Allah. But here illa ana, God is speaking. Fattaquni. Yeah. Following verse again, just to see the how the Quran combines all of them. Okay, just I will read the translation. So we have revealed an inspiration to spirit to you by your will. وذلك وحينا إليك روحا لنا من أمرنا ما كنت تدري. Oh, this verse is too much. No, after this minute, we cannot really go. Maybe we may study this verse at the beginning of next Monday. It is a lot here. ما كنت تدري ما الكتاب ولا الإيمان ولكن جعلناه نورا نهدي به من نشاء من عبادنا وإنك لتهدي إلى صراط مستقيم. Or that I think we have to study it separately, so that next, inshallah, next Monday we will start with this verse and then the following chapter, inshallah. Inshallah, there will be some time to go over the next chapter. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Inshallah.